Hey guys, it's Simeon. This is Pro Wrestling Unlimited as we are here on the 29th of January 2020 to talk about everything that went down tonight on Friday Night Smackdown. Now, I thought Smackdown tonight was a weird show, to be honest, especially that second hour. That second hour of Smackdown, what the hell was going on there? Like, so much crap and tomfoolery and I'll say it, bullshit happened in that second hour. So I thought SmackDown, well, I'm not going to say it was a bad show at all because I enjoyed it. I was just confused a lot of the show. And now I want to know what you guys think as well. Putting up chat polls up on Twitch and YouTube. Liked it as we let some more people jump in here. All right. All right, we got the Twitch chat up. That. Come over here, throw the same poll up on YouTube. Let's see. But with that, guys, if you are here, thank you for joining us. Twitch.tv/PWU Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited. Remember, if you are watching on Twitch, you can help us out a couple of different ways, either by hitting that donate button down below or by donating some Twitch bits. Also, you can subscribe to the channel one of two ways. One of those ways is just like Broken King Slender just did at a tier 1 subscription. Thank you, Broken King Slender, for your tier 1 subscription for 7 months. The commitment. Really do appreciate that. But if you don't got any money and you say, I do pay Amazon every month for Amazon Prime, well, if you've got Amazon Prime, you have Prime Gaming. And with Prime Gaming, you get one free subscription to any Twitch channel that you want to support throughout the month. And I would greatly appreciate it if you use that free Twitch sub on us here at Pro Wrestling Unlimited. Remember, if you are watching on YouTube, you can help us out a couple of different ways, either with a super chat or super sticker donation. All super chat donations do get read live on the air, or by becoming a channel member. As a channel member, all you got to do, to become a channel member, all you got to do is down below, hit that button that says join right next to where it says subscribe. As a channel member, you will actually get early access to certain content we do put up on the channel that's non-news content. But with that, we are here to talk about tonight's Friday Night Smackdown. I'm going to start off with Daniel Bryan already basically in the ring, 3/4, if not more, into his entrance. When the show started, he was already on the ropes doing the yes, yes, yes. He was leading the fans in that yes chant as he welcomed everybody to Friday Night Smackdown and Royal Rumble weekend. Bryan says he's excited for the Royal Rumble this Sunday. He's accomplished a lot in his career, but he has never won the Royal Rumble. Again, changing that tone a little bit from never won a Battle Royal to never won the Royal Rumble. Bryan noted that winning the Rumble means being in the main event of WrestleMania. He's done that before. So nobody knows better than him what that opportunity is like. He goes on to state that he wants to thank Chad Gable and Otis for helping him train. And this is the weird thing, very weird thing. It's like 1 week, Chad Gable's babyface. The other week, Chad Gable's a heel. It's like he's helping train Daniel Bryan, so he's a babyface. But then he's helping Bayley attempt to screw Bianca Bel-Air in the obstacle course. Like, make up your mind, guys. As Bryan's in the ring, though, the music of Raw superstar AJ Styles would hit as AJ and Omos walk out on the ramp. Bryan noted that both brands participate in the Rumble, but this is Friday Night Smackdown, and Styles, what are you doing here? Omos noted that Styles is here on SmackDown because of the quarterly brand-to-brand invitational. It's been a while since someone mentioned the brand-to-brand invitational, and we got a lot of brand-to-brand invitational tonight, like a lot. Styles mocked Bryan's suit and said he doesn't look ready to compete in the Rumble. He noted Bryan seems like a guy with one foot out the door. Styles wondered if Bryan is going to be GM again. Bryan then challenged AJ Styles to a match later on tonight. Styles noted that he's getting ready for the Rumble, and he'll get ready, and he's been getting ready by beating everybody on Raw. He then accepted the challenge of Daniel Bryan and shoved Bryan to the ground. Almost got in Bryan's way as he was going to come back at Styles. So Styles said, hey, how about when you come out, you don't bring your big man with you? And yeah, AJ actually came out later without Omos. And correct me if I'm wrong, Omos never came out again. Like even when we were brawling 5 times in the main event segment, he never came out again, honestly. So to recap, Bianca Belair defeating Bayley in the obstacle course last week and Bayley's post-match attack. In the back, Caleb Braxton briefly talked about the quarterly brand-to-brand invitational. Braxton would then go on to interview Bayley herself. Bayley mocked Belair and mentioned that she injured Belair's shoulder last week. Bayley promised to defeat Bianca next. Next up, we had a really good match between Bianca Belair and Bayley, and the match told a good story. Bayley had the early advantage until Belair snap suplexed Bayley for a near fall. Bayley regrouped on the floor, though. She quickly regained control and hit a sliding clothesline for another near fall. Bayley briefly worked over Belair's shoulder. Remember, Bayley said she injured it last week. Bayley yelled at Belair and pulled on her hair. Belair would fire back with a standing moonsault for a very close near fall, but Bayley got her foot on the bottom ropes to break the pin. After a commercial break, Bayley was firmly in control and scored another near fall. Bayley regained control by attacking the arm. She followed this up with a knee to the jaw for a 2. Bayley then hit the elbow from the top rope for another near fall. They traded pin attempts for a little bit in the middle of the ring. They fought over a backslide, and Belair rocked Bayley with a right. Belair then tried to pick up Bayley, but her arm gave out. Bayley regained control. Bayley charged at Belair, who got dropped on the top turnbuckle. Belair then hit the KOD to pick up the victory. So here's the thing with this shoulder injury. And they played it up perfectly in this match where she went to pick up Bayley and her shoulder gave out, her arm gave out. Well, what's going to happen on Sunday? You have to pick people up and throw them over the top rope. So they're trying to tell us that Bianca's shoulder may be too hurt for her to be able to lift people, hence dump people out of the Rumble. So maybe they're trying to get us to think, ooh, Bianca's hurt. She can't eliminate anybody. She can't win the Rumble. I'm going to do my spoiler or my predictions later, but yeah, she's my winner. In the back. Oh, where was I? Sorry, guys, my notes froze and I couldn't scroll through them. Okay, after the match, Caleb Braxton interviewed Bel-Air on the ramp. She praised Bayley and said that she's not a role model, or at least not her role model. Bel-Air was overwhelmed with emotion because it's the biggest win of her career, defeating Bayley going into the Royal Rumble. She then promised to win the Rumble on Sunday. AJ Styles against Daniel Bryan was officially announced, and in the back, Cesaro approached AJ and almost. Didn't really say much, though. Didn't really do anything with this. Next up, we had King Corbin against Dominic Mysterio with Rey on commentary, and we did learn that Rey and Dominic will both be in the Rumble this weekend, so Dominic's going to be in his first ever Royal Rumble. Dominic Mysterio jumped Corbin from behind as he entered for their match. Mysterio beat down Corbin for several minutes before the match even started. And here's the thing. Last week, Dominic did things his way. This week, he was supposed to do things Rey's way. Are we getting a fucking heel turn by the Mysterios? Because he blindsided Corbin from behind before the match even started? Just saying. Corbin charged at Mysterio after a break as the ring bell rang. Mysterio fought back and sent Corbin to the floor. Corbin quickly regained control with the back suplex. At one point, Rey noted that his son isn't getting his hand up to block Corbin, which means he's not listening. There's another time where Dominic had the slight advantage, and Ray was like, faster, faster, keep on him. Corbin at one point missed a charge in the corner, and Dominic took over. Dominic attempted a 619, but Corbin caught him. Corbin then gave Mysterio a backdrop, but Dominic took a nasty look, a bump off of this. He seemed fine, though. Dominic would then hit a huge DDT for a near fall, and Corbin took over. And he hung Mysterio on the top rope. He then hit the end of days and picked up the victory yet again, defeating the younger Mysterio. After the match, Corbin tried to attack Ray at ringside. Ray fought back and sent Corbin into the ring post. He followed up with the senton off the apron. So, I don't know what's going on with Ray and Dominic. They've completely just dropped the Aaliyah Murphy stuff. Neither have been seen for weeks, so I don't know what's going on with any of this. In the back, Big E was speaking with Sonya Deville when The Miz and Morrison would interrupt. Deville noted that Adam Pearce was off because of his actions last week. What actions last week? Agreeing to face Paul Heyman? Also, if his actions last week got him, I guess you could say, suspended for the week, why the fuck was he on Raw 4 days ago? Just saying. Morrison noted that he's about to make a ton of money in the stocks because he invested in GameStop. That was a funny line because everything going on. Later on, there was a line where Corey Graves said he got a good tip on the AMC stock. Big E ended up getting into an argument with Miz and Morrison and easily beat them down. Miz at one point even teased, maybe I'll cash in for the IC title. Going forward, they recapped Sasha Banks' Reginald match from last week where Banks defeated Reginald and then told us again, and I'm going to look something up, but told us again, Sasha will defend at the Royal Rumble against Carmella. But I still don't think they've actually advertised that match on social media or anything. Let's see. Just looking here through Twitter. Smackdown, AJ, Bryan, WW.com maybe? Very weird that 2 weeks in a row, they have stated, hey, Sasha versus Carmella at the Rumble for the title. Yet, they won't actually advertise the match on their website or social media. There's no graphics for it. Very odd. But let's move on. In the back, Reginald approached Banks in the hallway and gave her a bottle of wine, or maybe I think it was wine. She preferred to flirt with Reginald, even though we all know Sasha's married. Banks wanted the perfect wine for Carmella to drink with a broken jaw. She mocked Reginald, said, "Is that even your name?" and then walked off. He slowly smiled as she walked away. I don't know if they're going to, screw Carmella and Reginald's now going to be with a heel Sasha. As her boy toy? I don't know. It would kind of fit the boss character if she goes back to the full-blown heel boss. But it's everybody knows Sasha's married in real life. And I get we're not supposed to think like that. But it's just I don't know. My first thought when he gave her the wine, though, I was like, uh-oh, it's some poisoned wine. And Carmella did this so Sasha's not 100% at the pay-per-view. But I doubt that's the thing. I doubt they thought that far into it. They recapped Roman Reigns and Kevin Owens and their feud since the TLC pay-per-view. After a break, Sami Zayn and his documentary crew approached Shinsuke Nakamura in the back. Zayn was like, hey, we go way back. We need to stick together, especially with all these Raw guys here tonight. Pointing out, not even Cesaro has your back anymore. And that's not good, even though he's doing good things for himself. Zayn brought up all the ways that he's helped Nakamura. He said, everything big in your career has all been because of me. You having an amazing match in your NXT debut. Who was that against? Me, Sami Zayn. You being Intercontinental Champion and having a great reign as that was all because of me. Zayn then asked Nakamura to watch his back. Nakamura said, no, I don't think so, and turned him down. And then at the end said, go to hell. Next up, we got an interview segment with Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns. But before this, something interesting was announced for tomorrow's WWE Backstage. So, WWE ran another advertisement for WWE Backstage, which is taking place tomorrow night on FS1. Now, originally on WWE Backstage, they did state that they were going to be announcing two different things. Number 1 and number 2 entrants in the Women's Rumble, and the number 30 in the Men's Rumble. But for some reason tonight, that all got flipped upside down. WWE announced tonight that they will instead be announcing on Backstage the number 1 and number 2 for the Men's Rumble. As far as the Women's Rumble does go, WWE will be airing on Backstage a match between Natalya and Tamina, with the winner entering the Women's Royal Rumble number 30. None of this makes sense. I believe that maybe WWE's got, a big-ass surprise for the Men's Rumble and didn't want to give away number 30, so they flipped everything around. But, hold on one second. We may have some breaking news. As far as not WWE goes, though. Anyways, we'll get to this later. I'll talk about this after we talk about SmackDown. But as far as Backstage does go, they're going to announce number 1 and number 2 for the men. And then we're going to find out in a match between Tamina and Natty who's number 30 for the Women's Royal Rumble. Going forward, in the back, Big E was speaking with Sonya Deville. Oh, wait, no, I already read this. Here we go. Roman Reigns, Kevin Owens. They had a really, really good segment here, and Owens outshone everything. Owens was amazing. They were in separate rooms doing this interview. Kevin Owens noted that he beat Roman several times, but his family has always been helping him. Kevin noted that Roman beat him several times, but always with help from the family. Heyman was furious and demanded Owens give respect to Roman Reigns. Reigns wants to understand Owens better and asked about his father. He said, "What kind of a man is your father?" Owens warned Reigns to be careful. Reigns asked if his father is a smart man. Owens said his father is a smart man, and if Reigns is smart, he'd be careful. Reigns said if his father was smart, he should have raised Owens better. Reigns noted that Owens is a pawn on the chessboard. Everything revolves around Reigns. Reigns noted that Owens could only blame his family. He said Owens is a fool, which means his father is a fool, and also his grandfather's. Owens knows that Reigns is up. Owens said, "I know what you're up to," and warned him yet again. Reigns became infuriated and noted that Owens still doesn't understand what's going on. He said maybe Owens would understand when he meets his grandfathers again. Basically, Roman said, "I'm going to kill you in this match." Owens then mocked Reigns and noted that he tries to be a cool mafia gangster boss, and it's just not working. All Roman really is a bully. Owens said, "When I look in the mirror, I see someone that is a father." He said, "I see someone that my father, my wife, my grandkids, my family, my kids could all be proud of." Owens began to get furious as he stood up from his chair, yelling. And finally, Roman just, dumbest way to end this. Just stupid, because this was going so well. Roman grabs the TV remote and goes, click, and his feed just goes dark. And Owens gets really mad and pulls off his earpiece and walks off. So I think, we're going to get a brawl later. These two are going to meet again. But they didn't. This was it. Then on SmackDown, they recapped the Drew McIntyre Goldberg situation for Monday Night Raw. Yeah, that made no sense. Why are you hyping up? Well, I guess because they got nothing else for SmackDown to hype up. Then we got AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan for literally an hour. And I'm not joking. Different incarnations throughout this hour, but we got some sort of matches, involving Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles for over an hour. Top of the hour, both men come out for their singles match. Bryan and Styles had a really good match here until the finish. And it was pretty clear they were setting up for a 6-man that turned into an 8-man that turned into a 10-man. Styles came out without Omos, No, I think Almost came out and then walked away. I think that's what it was. Either way, Almost was not out here. Also, I want to say thank you to Rosario1983 in the Twitch chat for resubscribing at Tier 1 on Twitch for 7 months. Really do appreciate that, my guy. So, Bryan had the early advantage and targeted Styles' arm. Styles backed Bryan into the corner and briefly took over. Bryan's rocked Styles with a hard kick for a near fall. He started to climb to the top rope when Zayn's music would hit. Now remember, Cesaro was also on commentary. Zayn walked down to the ring with his documentary crew. Styles took the advantage of a distracted Daniel Bryan and knocked him to the floor. He then sent Daniel into the ring steps as well. Back from the break, Styles was firmly in control and missed a splash in the corner. Zayn was still at ringside protesting that this is unfair treatment. Bryan took over and hit a running drop kick in the corner. Styles attacked Bryan's leg to regain control. At one point, Styles attempted the phenomenal forearm, but Bryan caught him in the label lock. Styles made it to the ropes to break the submission. Suddenly, Big E's music would hit. And he walked down to the ring, and he rocked Sami Zayn with a clothesline, taking him down, and then threw him into Cesaro. Cesaro and Big E argued and then ended up brawling. Bryan sent Styles to the floor and hit a suicide dive. Zayn jumped into the ring, attacked Bryan, caused the DQ. Everyone started fighting here when Shinsuke Nakamura would then run down. He joined the fray, brawled with everybody. Nakamura and Cesaro even faced off in the middle of the ring, but Zayn jumped Nakamura. The babyfaces cleared the ring as we went to the commercial break. And when we come back, who would have guessed it? Got a tag team match, playa. Daniel Bryan, Big E, and Nakamura against the team of AJ Styles, Sami Zayn, and Cesaro. This match started when we came back from the break. The faces isolated Zayn on their side of the ring. Bryan and Big E gave Zayn a double hip toss for a near fall. Zayn caught Bryan with a chop block on the injured leg to take over. Styles slammed Bryan's leg against the ring post several times. Back from a break, Cesaro gave Bryan a big swing into a half crab, and they said, "Hey, that might work in the Rumble, but when there becomes a lot of guys in the Rumble, you might not be able to do a big swing kind of move because there's going to be too many people to get that rotation." At this point, the heels would isolate Bryan on their side of the ring. Zayn attempted a superplex, but Bryan pushed him off, and he missed a dropkick. Bryan got the hot tag and ran wild. No, he didn't miss the drop. He didn't miss the dropkick, and then got the hot tag. Big E caught Cesaro with the belly-to-belly suplex. Cesaro recovered and hit a twisting springboard uppercut. Big E fought back and hit a Uranagi on Cesaro to take over. Suddenly, The Miz and Morrison would come down as Miz's music hit. They made their way down to the ring and attacked the faces for a disqualification. We then see Otis come down to the ring. He would attack Miz and Morrison. He hit the Caterpillar and the big splash. Now this is so funny. He's going for the Caterpillar. You know, he does the Caterpillar. When he jumps up to do like the double elbows on Miz and Morrison. And when he jumps, he goes, "Here it goes." Boom. I thought that was so funny. But then, what do we get? A 10-man tag. Well, technically, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Technically, we get a 9-man tag for a while. It was 5-on-4 handicap match. At this point, Styles and AJ had been in there for over 30 minutes. Heels were firmly in control and isolated Bryan on their side of the ring. Zayn hit the Blue Thunder Bomb for a close near fall. They also let us know that this match was made official during the break by Sonya Deville. Styles and Bryan collided in the middle of the ring at one point, and the heels attacked the babyfaces on the apron, so Bryan had nobody to tag. Suddenly, Sheamus' music would hit, and he would run down to the ring, joining the match, jumping up on the apron, asking for the tag. Only a few minutes left in the show here when Sheamus would get into the ring. The finish of the match came where everyone got to hit their big move. Zayn set it for the haluva kick on Sheamus, but Sheamus countered it into a brogue kick to pick up the victory, though. After the match, the heels all jumped Sheamus. They were beating them all down when all of a sudden, out of nowhere, the music of Raw superstar Braun Strowman would hit. Braun Strowman would run down to the ring and go right after the Miz and Morrison. Corey Graves and Michael Cole did state that, well, I guess this means that Braun's in the Rumble. Does this mean he's declaring? I guess. Strowman then hit a running power slam on Cesaro. Strowman posed in the middle of the ring with a ton of bodies laying around. Corey Graves said that this is the best that Strowman's ever looked. And then the show went off the air. That was it, guys. That was Friday Night Smackdown. But as far as, like I said, we got some breaking news. Pull something up here for you guys. I got an image to show you. Oh boy, howdy, is New Japan doing it. So Friday nights is New Japan Strong. And well, tonight on New Japan Strong. Uh-oh. Where'd the image go? Here we go, guys. So Friday nights is New Japan Strong. And well, tonight on New Japan Strong, one man that nobody was expecting to see, well, he showed up. And that man is Jon Moxley. Yes, Jon Moxley did appear in a New Japan ring and went face to face, or forehead to forehead, with one Kenta. Now, I haven't seen the show yet. I will be watching it as soon as we finish up here live. But, that's interesting. So, at Wrestle Kingdom, we saw Moxley cut the promo in a New Japan ring from the New Japan Dojo in Los Angeles. And now he's here doing stuff with Kenta. So does that mean Tony Khan has given him the okay to have the match, put the U.S. title on the line, and fight Kenta? Moxley versus Kenta is going to be so good. So good. But the question is, when does it happen? I doubt Moxley goes to Japan, so maybe it's going to happen in the next week or two on New Japan Strong. We'll see how that all does go. But back to tonight's Friday Night Smackdown and hearing what you guys thought. The polls. Poll on Twitch. 100% thought Smackdown was just all right. As far as YouTube does go, in the YouTube poll. Let's see what that says. 57% liked SmackDown. 36% thought SmackDown was just all right. And 5% did not like SmackDown. As I check the text message bin, we got a number of text messages. If you want to let me know what you thought of tonight's SmackDown, you can do so by texting in to 510-906-1341. Again, that number is 510-906-1341. It is right down there, bottom of the screen, and also in both live chats. Got it there on Twitch. Got it there on YouTube. But let's get to your guys' text messages. This person says, Braun Strowman back on SmackDown and a babyface again? I believe he was on Raw before he had time off. He's a Raw superstar. If you paid attention to tonight's show, half of the people on tonight's show were Raw superstars. So don't get that twisted. As far as him being a babyface, I don't think him slamming Cesaro meant anything in that regard. It was just somebody to take the bump. I don't think it mattered who it was. But Strowman is back, and no, he is a Raw superstar. Chris said, do you think Apollo Crews will join Roman at some point? I have no clue. He wasn't even on the show or mentioned tonight. And I really thought he would have been when they did all this 8, 10, 12, 50-man tag matches. Very odd that he wasn't involved in any of this. And fuck has Jey Uso been the last 2 weeks? Just saying. Chris says, I know the Royal Rumble is Sunday. Do you think Ronda Rousey, okay, you spelled that way wrong, go make her ring return? I have no clue. I haven't heard anything. I know she's been training over the last 4 or 5 months because she's been posting pictures of her and her husband training in a wrestling ring. Those are a couple, but still, she's been training for something. Chris says, why do we need to see Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens again? We all know what's going to happen. Roman Reigns is going to win. He's already beaten Kevin Owens 2 times in a row. Well, that's the reason. So, if Roman goes out here and beats somebody else, say Nakamura, then it's going to hurt Nakamura. But if he beats Kevin Owens for a third time, people are just going to go, oh, he beat Kevin Owens again. Whatever. Kevin Owens is going to be at the same level he's been. So it does make a little sense from a booking standpoint. It's better to just beat the guy you've been beating already for the last time, because I know they're going to move on to something after this, instead of beating somebody else and then just pushing them lower down the card or whatever you want to call it. So it does make a little sense as why they're just doing Kevin Owens again. Plus, I mean, this match is going to be really good. And I want to look at something really fast, talk about Kevin Owens and Daniel Bryan. I mean, Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns. 20. I need to see something from last year's Rumble real fast. Last year, we had... Okay, never mind. So I was thinking this was Roman's second last man standing match in a row at the Rumble, but last year his match with Corbin was Falls Count Anywhere. That's what it was. I got that a little mixed up. Because I was like, last year he had a match. They were really just beating each other out, all over everywhere. But that's because it was Falls Count Anywhere. This match tomorrow can be similar, where they're beating each other all over everywhere, because you don't have to stay in the ring for what's it called? Last man standing. And finally, the last text message we do have here. We got two more. It says, would have loved to see a tag team between Dominic and Murphy and maybe even win tag titles. Hey, no one said that they can't still do it. They can still do it down the road. They've just kind of gone in a slightly different direction right now. And finally, this last text message says, I'm starting to like Impact Wrestling and AEW working together, don't you? I never said I haven't liked it. It's beneficial for both companies. AEW gets a lot of wrestlers that they otherwise wouldn't have been able to get, like the Good Brothers, and Impact Wrestling gets a lot of promotion that they're not going to get just being on Twitch and Access. So it's a win-win for both companies. Again, AEW gets wrestlers that they wouldn't be able to get normally, like the Good Brothers. Maybe Rich Swann eventually comes in, and they can also use Impact as like a developmental deal, kind of. Well, that's the wrong word. A feeder, a place where they can send their talent, like they've been doing with Private Party, to get extra ring time. There you go. With that, guys, that's going to do it here for our SmackDown review. I want to say thank you for joining me here tonight. Twitch.tv/PW Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited. BFG, no, Moxley is not going to Japan. He's in Los Angeles, where that was filmed. What they showed tonight on Strong from Los Angeles. He can't go to Japan because the quarantine things, it'll keep him away too much for Dynamite. But with that, guys, thank you for joining me here, Twitch. Thank you for joining me on YouTube. Follow us on social media, Facebook.com/Pro Wrestling ULTD, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited. Yeah, I just all of a sudden my brain shut down for a second. Follow us on Instagram by searching for Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and follow us on Twitter at PW Unlimited. We'll be live again Sunday night for the Royal Rumble. So with that, guys, have a great, great night, and I will see you next time.